Hello YouTube, this is Charlie D right here again, and I'm going to go ahead and continue from the last video, and I'm probably going to call this video "Connecting the Dots, Preventing Jericho." So I might just read off something I printed off years ago. So I'll go ahead and read this off. Here is an outline I've come up with sharing with close, like-minded friends and family. I may try to get the energy to make a video, but if not, here's a quick overview to my theory. So why now? Why have I waited for so long? Well, for one reason, it's time. It takes me forever to master new technology and make a video. Plus, there's the what if I am right factor. I'd be considered a bad guy instantly. But then again, you had to wonder, how bad of a world would it be to live into a 1984 type of world? It's not good. So, have you ever seen the TV miniseries Jericho? Jericho is a CBS production that portrays an inside job nuclear false flag that issues in the New World Order. The countries that are blamed on the series are Iran and North Korea via domestic terrorism. Does that sound familiar? Anyhow, here are the two dates and analogies that are scary to me if I'm correct. Okay, think about this. George Bush delivered his famous, I'm talking the old one, or the Daddy Bush, he delivered the New World Order speech on September the 11th, 1991. Right, then of course exactly 10 years later, September the 11th happened. Now that was with his son, Junior Bush. Now, this is very intriguing to me, that if you look at the premiere date of this series, the premiere date of the first episode was September the 20th, 2006. Exactly 10 years later would be 9/20/2016. Now, I know that these cats are really funny about the numbers. 9/27/2016, if you add the digits and you flip it upside down, equals 666. So it could mean sometime this month, or sometime in the future. Maybe not this September, maybe a different September, maybe never at all. If enough people, good people in the FBI, military, army, stand up and say, no, we're not going to let this happen. But there's a lot of people trying to figure out what's going on right now. Now I watched this series twice in a row. The first time I watched it, and then the second time I watched it, I tried to take some actual notes, meaning stopping and rewinding and fast forwarding. But here's some interesting things that I found. During September the 11th, now this varies on the source, okay? The second voting was struck at 9:02. Some say 9:03, just like 9:02 and some change, like 56 seconds or something. If you can get the exact number, let me know. But if it was 9:02, and some of the sources I've looked at says 9:02, there's an episode on this series called 9:02, which could have two meanings. It could mean that there will be another attack in September, sort of like when the building happened, the second building was struck. And also during the series, there was an episode actually called 9:02. Now during the episode, a domestic, not foreign, a domestic, mind you, EMP missile was launched over top America, and it was released. And from that point forward, every clock was stopped at 9:02, and they showed that a lot on the cameras. Why would that be? Could that be a double meaning there? Another weird coincidence: the timing between the two towers being struck, depending upon the source, is 8:45 to 8:47, or 9:02 to 9:03. So, could that mean that there could be an attack instead of minutes, years apart from this? Remember, the American people are quick to forget that day, but this year has been definitely a lot more look and focus on September 11th than I think there has ever been in the past. And also, there's also some weird warnings I'll get into in a minute. Another weird coincidence: the time between the identical warning signs. There's constant warnings of an impending attack, and then there was a large amount of money missing. So that makes you kind of wonder, are they trying to tell us something's coming and they're not going to stop it from happening, just like they did during September 11th? Because remember, when September 11th, when it happened, everybody was like, why isn't anybody doing something? Why isn't this being stopped? Well, evidently it wasn't supposed to be stopped. Let's see here. I'm going to post a lot of videos at the bottom of this. For any of this to make any sense to you, you had to have an open mind and see that 9/11, the number, and the Twin Towers have been in a lot of different movies. And a lot of them, the movies, not all of them, some of them were good movies. There were some good movies showing, the Twin Towers in the background. But there was a lot of movies that portrayed buildings exploding and things of that nature before September 11th. And some of them actually showed the Twin Towers being blown up. I mean, there were some blockbuster movies and some not so blockbuster movies. Let's think about the movie The Matrix, which has got a lot of double meanings, it seems like, hidden in that movie. When did Neo's license expire? September the 11th, 2001. And interesting, this is something I've kind of thought about when I watched the movie with an open mind. There's a scene, I believe it's the second sequel. I believe that there was a line in there where Morpheus asked Neo just before entering an elevator and going up and meeting the Frenchman. He was like, "Tell me what you see, Neo." He asked him, "What do you see, Neo?" And he says something along the lines like, "Well, it looks like every floor is wired with explosives." That's kind of odd to be seeing that, And then that building blew up in that episode. So, were they trying to tell us something? I don't know. You be the decision maker. This is all one man's opinion. So I'm just kind of speaking my truth, and hopes that enough people in the alternative media will look into it with an open mind. Maybe rebut it. Maybe talk about it. It will make the mainstream media. Maybe it won't happen. But if something does happen, a lot of people are going to be asking questions. Why wasn't it stopped? And some people are going to believe the mainstream media. Oh, it was it was this person or it was that person. Let's just go to war. Sort of like they keep on saying that Iran is dangerous. And Iran hasn't had any war for years. They haven't declared war on it for years. But America sure has, and so has England. And Korea, I don't live over there, so I can't tell if they're actually building nuclear bombs. But the question is, if they build enough to create devastation, that's the question. Will they? Can they? Would they? Or would they just be blamed for it? Sort of like we blamed everything that happened on the Al-Qaeda, CIA. Now, one other thing I want to dive into here. I want you to think about this with an open mind. If I was an evil dude, in which I'm not, I'm just a good guy trying to figure things out. As a matter of fact, I'm just a mechanic by trade. That's all I do. Turn wrenches for the most part. Matter of fact, my car's broke down, but that's another story. If I was to create an event, catastrophic event to create the most death, destruction, bad stuff to happen, the most disruption to a country, what month would I choose for any country within the northern hemisphere? Well, it seems like it would be September, and a lot of people ask, well, why would you choose September? Well, let's think about it objectively. If you were, for the most part, completely dependent upon gasoline and electricity, and if you disrupt that system in any way, shape, or form, the farmers will not be able to get the crops in. You will not have electricity for your heat, and you will have trouble getting fuel for your heat, whether it be propane, fuel, or electricity. So therefore, a lot of people will definitely be freezing to death, and they'll be starving to death. And it will definitely make this world a different place. So all I can do is hope this gets to the right people and hope that it doesn't happen. And obviously, Jericho's interesting series. Are they trying to tell us something? I don't know. You should decide. You should watch it. I was going to try to play some more stuff, actually have different clips in the background where I actually go through this series episode by episode, trying to show different things. I would probably not go through every episode. I'll go through the ones that I found the most interesting and have the most interesting things what I thought might be hidden within in them. And I bought this little piece of software that's supposed to go straight from audio video cables to your hard drive, and it's not acting right. I got a couple of snapshots of pictures, but it keeps on flashing, so I will not be able to do that anytime in the near future. As a matter of fact, I'll be putting a new clutch in my car in the near future, so it'll be a while before I can actually respond to people. But please respond. Have an open mind. Respond. This is just an opinion. Respond to this. Leave comments down below. If you want to, feel free to rip it and flip it. I'm not trying to make any money off this. And as a matter of fact, if there is any commercials you watch, I will not be getting the money for it because I'm going to leave mine turned off. This is Try to Do Right. And quickly here, my definition of completely or fully awake is the acceptance that your government will murder its own people and blame it on someone else or another country to push an agenda or a war. The result, if not stopped, will be George Orwell's 1984, in which he states, the future of a human boot can't be effaced forever and ever. Shall they do right?